Hello everyone, Dom here. Today we're checking out another amazing synthesizer of the 90s. Today we're checking out the Yamaha FS1R. This is probably the most powerful synth that Yamaha produced in the 90s. And today I'm using it with two controllers actually. This controller right here that was designed specifically for the FS1R and the Modi X7 Plus, which I'm using as a keyboard controller. So let's listen to what sounds it can produce. So the FS1R is a really special synthesizer, and actually this FM synth is the closest thing that was created in the 90s that resembles the FM engine that you can find on the Yamaha Montage and the Modi X, in the sense that it has 88 algorithms for the FM synthesis, it has different waveforms for the operators, so basically you can create many different sounds. Now, the big thing is that it was a rack mount unit though, so there was not too much real-time control. You had 4 knobs, as you can see here on the unit, but pretty much that was it. And it didn't have all the features that you have on a Modi X and a Montage, where you have the super knob, you can control all these things very easily. So that's why in 2021 this controller was released, which was, like I said, designed specifically to control the FS1R. And as you can see, everything when it comes to the synth department is here with knobs, with faders. So you have your operator volumes, we have the different parameters for the operators, envelopes, LFOs, the filter envelopes, pretty much everything is right there. So if you want to learn more about this, we're going to have a link in the description so that you can check it out. Now, what makes this synth so special? Because it is a special synthesizer, it's a very complicated synth, and the reason is it has the Formant Shaping Synthesis. What is that? Basically, this synth was able to create sounds like a human voice. So it had, as you can see right here, the voiced operators and the unvoiced operators. Well, when these two interacted, you could create some really convincing human-like speech sounds. And the voiced operators could create the vowels, the unvoiced could create consonants. So let me play another sound for you, just to start with the voice sounds, because I think these are really special. And as you can see, their formats are already apparent. Let me try another sound. So this is a choir sound. So you can hear all these formats, right? So this is a basic thing, but it's something that you can control actually, and it sounds very much alive. And this is something that made this synth so special. Now, let me try another sound. And I'm going to show you some really cool things that you could do with this synthesizer. As you can hear, there are two elements right there. We have like a female voice, but also another sound, because this is 4-part synth. So we have 4 parts here, so I can use the controller to turn down the second. Okay, so there are many presets in this machine that sound like this. So So this is, you can tell it sounds like a vocoder, but it's all done with synthesis. And the great thing about the FS1R was this section right here, which actually I'm happy that I have this controller here so I can show you exactly what it does. So you could have format sequences. So you could have different formats like IAU going in sequence. So you could create phrases like this one. Then you could change the speed of a phrase. You could loop it. You know, you could do all these things, and this was all created with FM. I mean, this is a good occasion to just appreciate how powerful FM synthesis is. There are so many things that you can do with it. Now, like with the Montage and the Mode X, this also had a filter. So you could run the entire FM synthesis engine through the filter, have more control, have more color to the sound. Let's try this one. This is a funny sound. Again. You know, you could change all these things in real time, but of course what I'm doing here, I can do it because I have this controller here, right? So let's try another one. I'm going to play this one here, and this is a completely different sound, but it's just as a reminder of how powerful sounds you can create using just FM synthesis. Just a quick reminder, no samples are here in this machine. 0 samples. So what I'm going to play right now is just a drum kit, but it's all created using FM. So listen to this snare. It's so punchy. Kick drum as well. You know, the hi-hats are very much alive, and all these are created using FM. You know, you can't get this punch in any other way. There are very few forms of synthesis that can create these kind of sounds, so punchy. Another drum kit, you know, this kind of classic analog kick drum sound. Again, super punchy. Now, I'm going to play some more sounds, and like I said, this is, you know, it's a 32 voice. The polyphony is 32 voices, so you know, compared to Montage and Mode X, you will find that once you start expanding, you might get some, you know, voice stealing, which is something that, you know, the modern equivalents don't do. But let me show you how beautiful it sounds and how ethereal sounds you can get out of this synth. So, you know, you can take your sound to places that you wouldn't imagine if you just loaded up the preset. Let's try another sound, and again, just beautiful sounds. Like I said, no samples, it's entirely purely FM. hear the filters, I have a little bit more extra control. For film music, you know, if you were scoring like a TV series or something like that, I mean, this synth is a dream. And I think that FM synthesis is one of the most powerful forms of synthesis to kind of create this kind of cinematic sounds, tell a story, you know, because they evolve in a way different way rather than, you know, for example, analog synthesizers. So let's try another sound, which is completely different. This is like a FM bass sound. Filter. You know, I mean, it's really fat. Now, a plus for the FS1R was that it could load, funnily enough, like the Mode EX and the Montage, DX7 sounds in it. So, for example, I have this very typical, you know, kind of DX bass sound. But this was the time where you could just add a little bit of control. So, beautiful. And of course, there were many other things. You could have effects, which was a big part of the sound. We also had a 3-band EQ, so if I go here, want some low end, you know, mid-range, it was, you know, there was a 3-band EQ, very powerful. Now, I'm going to leave you with one last sound. This was the FS1R. Really special synthesizer, a little bit hard to program, but you know, it was a great thing that came out in the 90s and it's still fascinating. So thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Thank you.